Idrus was charged in 2005 with 8 counts of money laundering of Rm 41.337 million under AMLA and 10 counts of abetting in forgery in the issuance of promissory notes to secure funding from Siemens Financial Services Limited for her company. The appellant, a medical doctor, and her husband had founded a pharmaceutical company that is Sapphire Pharmaceuticals Sendirian Berhad, and later expanded by receiving injection of capital from the Perbadanan Kemajuan Economy Negeri Perak. Unfortunately, the business of Sapphire did not perform well and became indebted to the tune of Rm 51 million. In order to raise funds for Sapphire, the appellant do money laundering, and the appellant also asked one of her worker, that is Usaini, the marketing manager, to forge the promissory notes in order to deceive SFA. Case of Dr. Hamima Idrus is the first case of money laundering in Malaysia, involves an international company. The case was revealed in court that in 2003, she had directed her marketing manager Usaini Wan Abi Safian to prepare 10 promissory notes that were purportedly issued by Sapphire and guaranteed by Pharmaniaga Berhad and the Ministry of Health Mo. Dr. Hamima Idrus, the former director of Syarikat Sapphire Pharmaceuticals SDNBHD. She was charged under AMLA for receiving Rm 41.3 million from illegal sources. Apart from that, she also faced 10 counts under Section 109 of the Penal Code for abetting her staff. According to Section 3(1) AMLATF Act 2001, money laundering defines as the act of person who involves in transaction of any unlawful activity, engages, directly or indirectly. Also, acquires, receives, possesses, disguises, transfers, converts, exchange, carries, disposes, uses, removes from or brings into Malaysia proceeds of any unlawful activity. Dr. Hamima was charged under Section 4(1) of Anti-Money Laundering Act 2001 for receiving Rm 41.33 million in illegal gains between June 3 and 10. In 2003, which provides for a fine of up to Rm 5 million or 5 years maximum imprisonment or both. According to Section 109 of the Penal Code, whoever abets any offence shall, if the act abetted is committed in consequence of the abetment, and no express provision is made by this code for the punishment of such abetment, be punished with the punishment provided for the offence. For that, Dr. Hamima faced 10 counts of abetting her staff Usaini Wan Abi Sabian to falsifying 10 agreements under Sapphire Pharmaceuticals worth Rm 4.56 million each, under Section 109 of the Penal Code. Firstly, is placement. The placement is the physical disposal of cash proceeds derived from illegal activities. Secondly, is layering. The proceeds are converted or moved further from the original source by purchasing legitimate assets, such as property. The asset is then sold on to an independent and often unsuspecting, legitimate third party. Lastly, integration. The proceeds are injected into a legitimate economy. The most common example is where the proceeds are injected into a legitimate business that has a high percentage of cash sales, such as casino. First, is the placement process for the Dr. Hamima case. The promissory notes as a financial instrument contain a written promise by one party to pay another party, the notes payee, defined sum of money. On demand or at a specified future date. The Pharmaniaga Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Effendi Tanang, and Deputy Health Minister, Datuk Seri Dr. Sulaiman Muhammad, possessed the forged signatures. Next, is layering for Dr. Hamima case. The indictment proved that the money sent to Malaysia was the result of illegal activities. The seducer knowingly received a large part of the proceeds to explain the debts of the company he partly owned. Local bank employees have given information that the stolen funds reached Malaysia through the Goodrich Overseas Group of Hong Kong into an account in Malaysia which controlled by Henry Toon and Periu. For the integration, the court said she had, knowingly, used funds raised from the forged promissory notes to pay the company's debts. Dr. Hamima and his lawyer's representative, that is Harvinderjit Singh, made an appeal to reduce the prison sentence in her case, but Dr. Hamima failed in his appeal at the High Court. A 3-panel judge rejected his appeal and upheld the decision and said Dr. Hamima found the conviction against all charges to be strong. And also the prison sentence imposed by the Sessions Court is reasonable with the circumstances of the case. Finally, the decision of the appeal court sentenced Dr. Hamima to 38 years in prison and a fine of Rs 6.4 million after she was found guilty by the Sessions Court, and the court ordered the sentences to run concurrently.
The appellant was charged with laundering a total sum of Rs 41.337 million under 8 charges. The total sum seized is Rs 34.987 million, leaving the balance Rs 6.35 million that not recovered. There was no reason why the pecuniary penalty provision in Section 55 of the AMLA could not apply. In conclusion, anti-money laundering can tarnish the country's name and also destroy the country's image.
Thanks for watching.